the Igbos have suffered enough. You've heard IPOP saying that elections should be boycotted. The diaspora have a lot to do in making sure that Igbos participate in the election. Our people at home depend basically on the money remittances you are making to them, since they are getting nothing from the government. It is said that he who pays the piper does what? Dictates the tune. You are an enlightened group. It is your duty now not to stay aloof. Assume the responsibility of enlightenment. Assume the responsibility of the one who pays the piper. It is now that you ought to dictate the tune of what happens, what is happening at home. Don't be aloof. I appreciate, well, you know the problem we're having. Igbos have their own problems. Majority of us are lost. Lost tribe. We are lost in Igbo land. We are lost in Nigeria. We have sold our heritage to other nationalities. If you get capital and you are asked where to invest, you invest in England. Those who are investing in Kano are investing in Kano. Those who are investing in Lagos are investing in Lagos. You are raping Igbo land of their God-given resources. If you don't know it, you are resources. How can Igbo be independent without exodus? How can Igbo land, how can we come to terms with our development without exodus, without we are going back? Personal exodus, economic exodus, take back your blessing to Igbo land so that development, Igbo land will develop. It is by strengthening yourselves that you can find your feet in the country called Nigeria. I have tried as much as possible to reduce to the barest minimum the delivery of this speech. I will hand over the whole thing so that you can read it at your own time when it is published. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Barrister Benson Aya, Judiciary Administrator, Chief Magistrate, Chief Registrar, Abia State. Please, he came all the way from Abia State, East Nigeria, West Africa, from the African continent to come and be with us today. He left everything behind. He paid his way down to be here. Please, I want the executives of the Igbo Ambassadors UK, as a matter of fact, all members, they have all caught a vision and they are pursuing it. We thank you very much. And of course, with the executives, very quickly, we could do that with the executive, with Mr. Benson Aya. Do that with the executive. Thank you. Just a
continue. Dr. Igwe.
Igbo kweno. Igbo kweno. Igbo kweno. Nigeria kweno. Ndo wa kwezo no. Thank you, Igbo ambassadors, for inviting us. We are happy to be here. Thank you.
hello.
And Mowa, I am the president of Ohanese Ndibo in UK and Ireland. I've been asked to deliver a speech on the role of Ndibo in Nigeria after 2019. Because of time, they say it's 10 minutes. I think I will use a bullet point approach to make my presentation. I have a speech that I presented prepared, but I think that people understand things when it is interactive rather than reading a very long speech. Presently, the problem of Igbo and Nigeria, it is no longer an academic discussion. It has come to a practical approach. We need to use a practical approach to be able to solve the problem. I would say, what is the role of Igbo from today rather than after 2019? Because if we say after 2019, it might be too late. The first question I would like to ask a bit is, how many people have PVC here? How many people? Can I see a raise of hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 10 people can vote. 10, look at the number of people. I'm here. Now, if you don't know, 2019 election, don't vote, we will be forgotten. We just seen our sister, Dr. Ezekwesi, she's in the presidential race. We have Professor Mongalo is in the presidential race. We have Mr. P2B is a vice presidential candidate of PDP. And also, I think they have forgotten Chief Mrs. Atwejide is also in the presidential race. So we have 3 people contesting for president. Now, the question we need to ask ourselves, this is the time Ndi Igbo need to ask themselves. 1, we need to be real. We need to be real. This is politics. Politics is a game of number. That is democracy. Government by the people, for the people. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. Now, it's a game of number. So, Ndi Igbo need to unite. Unity. We need to unite and support one candidate. Please, whether you like it or not, if we split our vote, we are going nowhere. That's one. We need to get our PVC. We need to be able to vote. The other thing we need to think about is restructuring. Restructuring is an issue that anyone contesting for presidency, Ndi Igbo must hold the person to account. The reason is restructuring cuts across everything we are talking about, and that is where Ohaneze and other Igbo groups stand. We want Nigeria restructured because if Nigeria is restructured, we will be able to develop. The other thing we need to think about is enterprise. Enterprise. Are you listening? Enterprise. The Igbos have conquered Nigeria commercially and by enterprise. Whether you like it or not, that is the reality. If you go to Kano, Kaduna, Sokoto, Abuja, Lagos, you name it, most of the investments belong to Ndi Igbo. I think it's time for our people to stop, bemoaning that we are marginalized, but by enterprise, by sheer enterprise that we have managed to overcome. And if we pull together, Nigeria will hear for us. They will hear from Ndi Igbo. If we pull together, unity is what we need. We need unity number 1, unity number 2, and unity number 3. We have all it takes. Chifato Eze just donated 1 billion. He's donating 1 billion everywhere. Billions for election. But but we say we don't have money. We are marginalized. Yes, but God has given us something that we need to use. Now, in Britain today, they are talking of apprenticeship. Yes, apprenticeships. Now, who are the masters of apprenticeships? Who are the masters of apprenticeships? Yes, we started apprenticeship from time immemorial. And that is what Britain is trying to use to raise the economy. If you go to Aba, you go to Onitsha, you go to all the Lagos, Idumota, apprentice everywhere. And that is what now, we need a paradigm shift. We need to invest at home. Akurun emegene. Akurun emegene. Akurun emegene. Now, we need to invest in the southeast, now Igbo. We are the people to develop our place. Now, the other issue is governance and accountability. We have to hold our leaders to account. And please, if you are contesting for election, it is easy to talk, but it is difficult to do. It is easier that we make sure that when you get into office, or you know someone that is in office, if he calls you to tell you, oh, it's business as usual, please tell them it is not business as usual. Make sure you do something. So if everybody has that in their minds, then there will be a lot of change. Now, the other thing we need to know is that the Igbos have always been the bridge that is holding Nigeria. We are bridge builders. It is the Igbos that have left their own places to go to other places. If you go to Enugu, you will hardly see any Hausa or Yoruba investment. If you go to Owerri or Abakaliki or Oka, I can tell you, you cannot. But the Igbos have gone to every nook and crannies. There are over 12 million Igbos in the north. 12 million Igbos in the north. So if Igbos leave the north, in one day, the economy of the north will collapse. The same thing will happen to Lagos, and so on. So the Igbos have been the bridge builders. And after 2019, before 2019, we need to come together, utilize our forces, what we have, our technological know-how to be able to put together. We know to love ourselves. Unity of Igbo is what we will use to achieve a lot. Please, if you don't know anything, try and love your brother as yourself. If Igbo unite today, Nigeria will hear from us tomorrow. Cha-cha-cha, Igbo kweno, Igbo kweno, Igbo kwezo no.
Thank you, sir. A quick photograph with the executives of the Igbo ambassadors. Just the executives this time around. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
This is one of the presentations we're looking forward to tonight. Please keep putting those hands together as he takes the stage. Thank you very much. Put your hands together for him, please.
National values. Rebuilding Nigeria's national values. Now, when I was asked to give a speech, and eventually, of course, I said, yes, I will give a speech. And when I was told the topic, rebuilding Nigeria's national values, I was like, Nigeria, do we have national values? And when I got here, I was having a chat with someone. I said the same thing. They said, no, Nigeria, we don't have national values. So, and that's a very important thing we have to look at today. Nigeria's national values. Now, I started thinking, and I was surprised at what I discovered, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with us today. As part of my introduction, I want to tell us a little bit about Nigeria so we understand where we're coming from. I know most of us here are Nigerians, but for the sake of this speech, I will tell you a little bit about Nigeria for those that may not know. We are a very large country. We have large expanse of land. By population, in 2006, the census was 140 million. This November, according to United Nations estimates, we are 197.8 million, nearly 200 million. It may interest you to know that in 1980, Nigeria was considerably richer than both Indonesia and Pakistan. We were here when Dr. Obegele spoke extensively on this. 1980, we were richer than Pakistan and Indonesia. I don't have the use of PowerPoint here because of some logistics problem, because I prepared some graph to show us where Nigeria was around 1960, 1970, 1980. But the graph I have that I'm looking at, 1960, Nigeria, China, Pakistan, Indonesia, we were all on the same level. If you're looking at our gross domestic product. Imagine China and Nigeria being on the same level. Surprisingly, if you look at my graph, you will see that we are nowhere near China. It's overtaking us by a lot of steps, and we are lagging behind. Around 1960, of course, Nigeria was not a mono economy. We were dependent on other products like cocoa, groundnuts, palm produce, etc. I had a picture here about the groundnut pyramid, which I don't know if some of us knew about it. The groundnut pyramid was a symbol of Nigeria. It was pride for Nigeria, and of course, Nigeria did well in those days. But what we need to know is that Nigeria prospered in those years because actually we had national values. And national values is important because every society needs to have it. And when I was looking, I discovered that even in the 1999 constitutions, our values are enshrined in the constitution. Our motto, those of us that have seen the coat of arms, Nigerian coat of arms, it says unity and faith, peace and progress. The Constitution also provides that state social order is founded on the ideals of freedom, equality, and justice. So you look at the Constitution, you find out that our values are already there already. It talks about discipline, integrity, dignity of labor, social justice, religious tolerance. It talks about respect for the national flag, the national anthem, and legitimate authorities. But what has happened to Nigeria? A yam does not decay completely, a yam does not get completely rotten in a day. It takes time. Gradually, the yam decays and it affects the whole tuber. So over the years, you find out that we've lost our track, we've lost our national values, we've lost those things that made Nigeria what it was in those days. Those that are maybe under 30 years or 40 years will not know what Nigeria used to be. But those of us that are a bit older, I may not be the oldest, but at least I remember those days when we respected, when respect was, the norm of the day, when people, especially government workers, they were dedicated, they were committed, when hard work. was, was in place. But now what has happened? Corruption has eaten into Nigeria, and that is why we are where we are today. According to the Transparency International, the country, that's Nigeria, has been consistently rated to be among the most corrupt countries in the world. In its Corruption Perception Index, Nigeria ranked 148 out of 180. That's in 2017. And what score did Nigeria get out of 100? Nigeria scored 28 out of 100. Now, 28 out of 100 is total failure. That's why some people say they are surprised why Nigeria hasn't collapsed. But Nigeria is still there.
I'm sorry, please, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, the man wearing white. Sorry, sir, on the other end.
We are looking at Nigeria, our national values, and we found out that we actually have them. They are enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution, but somehow along the way, we lost it. And that's why we found ourselves to where we are. But here today, of course, I know time is not in our favor, so I want to profile my own solutions, because it's not just about talking about problems, but what can we do about it? Of course, we've heard from some speakers that spoke already, but mine, because we're talking about values, the problem is, how do we change our values? We found out why, Dr. Ezekwesili talked about how people vote along ethnic lines, not really about their convictions or about the person that is standing for the office. We have other, even the Ohanese president also told us about, agreeing to vote for one person. So you find out that it's not so much about who we are voting for, what they are bringing, but about other considerations. But my solution that I'm offering today is that Nigerian government would have to implement what I call the 3 Ps. These are the 3 Ps that will help us to change our orientation, to change our behavior, to change our attitude. And what is these 3 Ps? I call them, one is platform. Platform, that is for the government. You find out that in Nigeria we have organizations, we have organs, we have these agencies. Take for instance the police or the EFCC. That they exist. If you look at the mandate of the EFCC, we have to ask ourselves, are they achieving the purpose they were created for? So government has to start this by creating the enabling platform so that these government agencies can function effectively. And one of the things I have here is, which I think Dr. Ezekwesili pointed out as well, if something is not working, what do? You get rid of it. If the manager or the director of these organizations are not performing, what do? The government should be able to remove them from office. They have to deliver the purpose for which they are created. So many examples I have here, but I don't want to bore you with them. But the bottom line is that the government has to, they are there, but they are not performing to expectation. We need government to take decisive steps in that. Nigerian problem is already solved. Nigerian government should be deliberate in coming up with policies that will strengthen the democratic institutions we have. The second P is partnership. Apart from, no matter what ideas or policies or projects the government has, government needs partners to be able to bring these things into effect. Partnership, we're looking at, other organizations, maybe the NGO and organs like this that the government will want. What's the purpose of this partnership? These are organizations that will be able to communicate, to engage the people, so that government policies is communicated to the people. This is the avenue where government can get feedback from the people, and that way, government policies can, be impacted in the lives of people. That way also, because we're talking about values and attitudes, that's how this goes from policy to implementation. And now the last P is participation. If the laws are there or the policies are there, the agencies are there, they've been communicated to the people. Now we need the people to participate in that, because it's the people that actually drive the policy. I have here that it is the people, it's the participation of the people that will be a catalyst to the implementation of the policy of the government. And can you imagine what will happen when the people of Nigeria, with the private organizations, industries and businesses, like universities, colleges, the movie industry, if all these people join forces for the actualization of the project of rebuilding Nigerian national values, can you imagine what will happen? In conclusion, the question I have here is, what type of Nigeria do you want to see beyond 2019? Do you want to see Nigeria that has reputation for corruption, disregard to the rule of law, a country where political positions are distributed based on nepotism rather than on merit, and where government contracts are awarded based on percentage or kickback? Is that the type of Nigeria I want to see beyond 2019?